Earlier this week, when the Tshwane mayor was disqualified by, of course, the city manager, Tshwane over the whole insolvency issue that stems from around 2016, he had to write to the IEC to obviously notify the IEC of a vacancy in the Tshwane Council. And subsequently today, as he has been reinstated after providing proof of his rehabilitation certificate to prove that, of course, he has undergone the necessary process to remedy his financial status. The city manager had to again notify the IEC of these changes. And right now I am joined by Mr. Mawethu Mosery. He is the Deputy Chief Electoral Officer here at the IEC. Thank you so much for joining us. Can the IEC confirm that they have received the notification from Tshwane?
We confirm that we did receive the notification of the vacancy. The later notification of a change of circumstances has not been received by the Commission. Obviously, when we do receive that, we will consider it and act accordingly to what we would have on our desk at that point in time.
With everything that is happening in the city of Tshwane, everybody's concerned. We one day have a mayor, the next day we no longer have a mayor, and then we have a mayor again. The IEC tasked with that oversight role to ensure that our democratic processes are satisfactory. Your views on what is happening in Tshwane in terms of the democratic processes and how this is affecting the voter?
It's not necessarily a view of the Commission or of myself. We don't actually have an oversight role once we've put elected representatives in office. However, from a voter education responsibility that we carry as a Commission, we are obviously monitoring all activities, events, incidents that do take place with our elected representatives, because they form a basis on which we motivate voters to go back to the polls and participate. And certainly some of the things we are observing are no different from the experience of how coalition governments operate, the basic framework of coalitions, the theories around coalitions. And it's an area that we have to educate our citizens as South Africa Electoral Commission on what it means to be in a coalition, how a coalition must be managed. Those are things that we will do and take time to educate on that. The more critical an issue is then to encourage more voters to go out to the polls. The higher the poll in an election, it is likely that we'll end up with an election outcome that has an outright leading political party or majority party, rather than when the poll is low, you are likely to have this kind of an outcome that we are experiencing in the country.
The issue of vetting, many of us questioned that when we heard that the mayor has been disqualified. It stems from his insolvency record that was declared in 2016. And we asked, what was the IEC's role in this? How did so many eyes miss this? Can you educate us? What's your role when it comes to vetting leaders who in particular hold top public office positions?
Our role is not to vet or to do background check. Our role is more about ensuring that those who wish to be elected in office are elected through the legitimate process and the correct process and a process with credibility. And what we do with candidates is more to confirm that they are registered voters And if they are registered voters, they are also South African citizens. And when the outcome of election is declared, we've counted the votes and allocated the votes correctly. So our duty is more about qualification to be candidate. The constitutional provisions that affected this particular individual has three parts to it. It deals with conviction and sentence for some citizens who wish to be elected in office. The provision is such that if you've been convicted beyond 12 months, sentence in prison, you have to be out of jail for at least 5 years before you can contest office. The second one is obviously the insolvency. The third one has to do with mental condition that requires you to be declared appropriately by the courts to be a person not fit for office. So in this instance, we would not check that. It is the duty, obviously, of the receiving administration, which is the municipality, as well as COGTA, to look at these aspects of whether the person do qualify constitutionally to stand for and be elected into office.
Does the IEC have any other role to play moving forward? The mayor has been reinstated. Is there any other part that you're still going to play? Or is there still time frames left for certain things to happen? Or does it stop here?
For us, we only have to receive the communication from the municipality. On receipt of that, we will confirm that we will be taking no further action on the matter. So for us, it is always an action dependent on the direction and the declaration of the municipal manager.
Thank you so much there. Of course, Mr. Mosery here from the IEC, just taking us into his confidence and also explaining the role of the IEC when it comes to the ongoing impasse that we have seen in the city of Tshwane. This, of course, as the political parties are fighting for the soul of the city, the mayoral position, of course, being at the helm of this political fight. We will be speaking to the city and also speak to, of course, the reinstated mayor, just to give you updates from that side. For now, we toss it back to studio.